I
want to thank my dear friend, the gentlewoman from North Carolina, for organizing this session today. Last week, when you organized this special order, I don't think you were really entirely aware how topical the topic would be today, and I'm so pleased that you did organize this, so thank you. Now, many of us are still reviewing, having just received the 150 pages of text that make up this deal with Iran. But from what I've heard thus far, it leaves me highly skeptical that the accord that was reached, it does not advance our interests in the region and signifies a retreat from the world stage. Let me first say that even if we take the president at his words, the words that I heard this morning, and we assume for a second that this deal cuts off, quote, every pathway to a nuclear weapon, end of quote, there are still significant ramifications for granting $150 billion in sanctions relief to a country whose unofficial motto, who we just heard from the gentlelady from Missouri, has become death to America. As Israeli Ambassador Dermer told some of my constituents just last night at Christians United for Israel speech, a $150 billion infusion of cash into Iran's coffers is like $8 trillion flowing into the United States Treasury, and that money will go towards funding the Ayatollah's terror machines, ranging from Assad's regime in Syria, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, Hamas, and the Islamic Jihad in Gaza, just to name a few. Many of Iran's terror proxies throughout the region. This is compounded by the fact that the deal will lift the conventional arms embargo on Iran in no more than 5 years and the embargo on missile sales to Iran in no more than 8 years. So what the deal appears to do is give the Iranian regime $150 billion in sanctions relief while simultaneously allowing them to buy more conventional weapons that we know have been used in the past to actually kill American soldiers. Now, this isn't to mention the unintended consequence that effectively shreds our foreign policy playbook that's guided the U.S. on the world stage for decades. This is a historic mistake. So not only what the Prime Minister Netanyahu has said, the historic mistake, but it will allow Iran to continue to pursue its aggression and terror in the regions. And as the Congresswoman from Missouri said, it will start a nuclear arms race in the Middle East. Just today, former CIA Director General Hayden testified that not only do we need to understand that our nuclear focus does not make other realities go away, even if we had a successful conclusion to these nuclear negotiations, issues will remain. And I just want to close by reminding of what our other issues with Iran include. We know and believe they are the largest state supporter sponsor of terrorism. They hold American hostages without a fair trial. They support Palestinian terrorism, and they destabilize Iraq, where we have invested so much treasure and lives. Hayden concluded the issue is not just Iran's nuclear problem. The issue is Iran itself. So, Madam Speaker, no deal is clearly a better outcome than a bad deal, and I, too, am extremely concerned the Obama administration has negotiated a bad deal. I assure you that my colleagues and I will leave no detail of the final negotiated terms unexplored, as this decision comes with consequences that will reverberate for generations moving forward. The world cannot afford a nuclear Iran and thus cannot afford a deal with unacceptable terms. Thank you. I yield back.